Hello, everybody. Chris with Night of Living Card Games back again, continuing some Earthborne Rangers. It's been a while since I worked myself out of the valley and been playing some Marvel Champions and decided for me, it's a holiday break. It's time to get back into the valley. So we are on day 5 of my Legacy of the Ancestors campaign, and we found the expedition underneath. Did a little bit of exploring, and now the expedition leader Solaro Mako has told us we need to come up and meet him at the Concordant Ziggurats, which we are at the chimney location. If we go up the spiral staircase, we'll get to the spire, and there is the Concordant Ziggurats. So just quick little travel. So we got everything set up here. I'm going to draw my opening hands and do the location setup and see where this goes. Stout-hearted Guardian, Vaulting Rod, Dear Friend, Quiet, Bravest Ranger, and Deliberate. I like having my 2 titles. The Vaulting Rod is great. And Quiet is a lot of good too. So I think we'll... hold on to Quiet, and I'll just draw 2 more. Compassionate and Cordo's Instinct. All right, well, Cordo's Instinct is going to help me here. So, all right, so looking at the setup of the chimney, because I did not arrive from Spire, I put the plinth in play and then read the journal entry for that, which I've done that a couple times, so I'm not going to do it. And then now the location, because the chimney is settled, I can do awareness plus exploration to search the walkways to scout path cards equal to your effort, then draw 1. So what we need to do is we need to find the spiral staircase and clear it so we can go up back into Spire. But first, we're going to do some setting up. All right, so top of the round, first thing I do, which I sometimes forget, is to draw a path card. Oh, we have a moment. Arcology moment. A sudden crash. A loud crash echoes from a distant chambers. What could have made such terrible noise? As the startling sound, everything around you scatters. Move all beings with 2 or few presents along the way. Nope. If the weather is enveloping silence or reverberating echoes, it is not. If it is enveloping silence, flip it over. It is neither of those. It is glitter rain. So literally nothing happens there. All right. All right, so let's do ours. First things first, let's get our Stout-Hearted Ranger on so that we can recover fatigue. Let's spend 1 fitness to get our Bravest Ranger out. And then we'll spend another fitness to get our Vaulting Rod out. That helps fuel my engine since it is an aid card. We are going to let us do our deck. So we are going to do a remember our ranger training 1 versus 1 to see if we can get some more cards to our hand. 0, so I succeed. So I get to look at the top card of my deck and choose to either draw it or to put it on the bottom of my deck. You know what? We're going to draw it. We're going to leave it on the top of my deck, then we draw 1 card. It is the sketchbook that I saw was there. All right, Yellow Sun Challenge Effect. Let's see here. What is this? Add 1 runoff to this card. Each ranger suffers 1 fatigue, and then if there are 5 or more runoff, flip this card. All right, so we suffer a fatigue. And now the plinth is, if within reach is not illuminated, you stumble in the dark, suffer 1 fatigue. So let's see here. I think this says something. When you interact with this location, dodge all illuminated cards. Nope. All right, so I am not illuminated at the moment, so I suffer a fatigue. All right, we are going to exhaust our roll and spend an energy to add an aid token, add a token to an aid card I control, and the Stouthearted Guardian allows me to recover a fatigue, which is my Lambent's Rig. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am actually going to spend 2 awareness to play Cordo's Instinct. So 2 cost moment that says search the path deck for a card and place it on the top or bottom of the deck. So because I need to get to, there we go, Spiral Staircase, or the Spiral Stairway, we are going to choose that card and then shuffle the rest of the deck up. Put this on top of the deck. And now we're set up for next turn. I have no energy left, so I am going to rest. So now we recover everything, ready all the cards, put our energy back, draw a card, which is Pakoto the Ferret. Nice. And now we draw a path card, which is, oh look, it is the Spiral Staircase. So Spiral Staircase, I don't think read that before, so the Spiral Stairway is now well lit by heavy Lambent's rigs and well cleaned by Solaro's team. In the light, you can appreciate the cunning design that went into the Spiral Stairway's construction. Instead of a perfectly symmetrical stairway, the structure twists and winds like a tree. As it rises, additional stairways branch off from the central structure and rise up into the chimney, leading off into side passages and chambers. Clear the Spiral Stairway with progress to travel to Spire, or realistically by putting your Ranger token on it. So it is a 1 presence, 6 harm, clear by putting your Ranger token on there. And it has a test, Fit plus Triangle 3, to climb the newly constructed ladders over the perilous gates and to move your Ranger token to this feature. If this feature is illuminated, decrease the difficulty of this test by 2. Okay. So I think I'm going to spend 1 to get my Lambent's Rig down, because that seems good. First things first, let us exhaust, and I'm going to spend my other awareness to add a token to an aid card. And then recover fatigue, which is follow in footsteps. We are now going to exhaust and use my Lambent's Rig. I am going to illuminate the Spiral Staircase. So I am... so that test is now 2 easier. And we are going to make that test, and I'm going to commit a sketchbook because I want to make sure that I get up there. So I have a 3 effort against a 1. That is a 0, so I succeed. So this comes on here. So I did clear it because all the Ranger tokens are on there. So I think before I do all the challenge effects, I think I am going to resolve clearing this. You continue to climb the stairway until you spot the familiar trappings of the threshold. Several members of the expeditionary team still linger here, setting up various equipment and carrying supplies down into the chimney. From here, you can head back up to the spire through the arcology threshold if you wish. You may immediately proceed to the travel phase and travel to Spire, even if there are already cards with the obstacle keyword in play. If you do, build the path deck using the Ancient Ruins terrain set. If you choose to travel this way, discard the current challenge card and do not resolve the remainder of this test. Well, there you go. I am going to choose to travel to Spire. So I do not have to do any of that now. Okay, so I am going to get that set up and I will be back in the blink of an eye. All right, we have arrived at Spire and it is a perfect day outside. Rising out of an island in the middle of the Silverfin, the first thing that you spot is the landmark that gives the town its name. A massive gray spire at the center of the island towers over the cottages, workshops, and trade halls that make up the rest of the town. As impressive as it is, you know that it is but a protrusion of the ancient archaeology that extends deep into the roots of the valley. The entrance to that archaeology lies beyond the archaeology threshold. Right, so we've got everything set up here. We will do our setup instructions here, and then we'll reset. So Spire is different. It's got its own separate deck that I can go and explore the town of Spire if I want. So I've got that set up, and the lead ranger draws a path card. My path card is a bustling Lightbringer. So one presence, machine being, 2 harm threshold, 4 connect threshold, and it says powered 1. The machine gains illumination, and it has 3 power on it. So okay, so now we reset ourselves. Draw a card, and that is another Pakoto the Ferret. Oh, and so Spire is a 1 presence, 4 progress threshold, and has a test fit plus explore 2 to enter the bustling town of Spire, to move your ranger token to this location, and then draw 1 card from the Spire deck. And when you would draw a path card, if your ranger is on this location and there are cards remaining in the Spire deck, you may draw 1 card from the Spire deck instead. But we don't want to do that. We need to move on to go see what our compadre needs. So, what we are going to do, we're going to spend 2 to get a Pakoto the Ferret out. We are just going to try to traverse here. I'm going to ignore the bustling Lightbringer, which does fatigue me 1. So I'm a 2 fit versus a 1. 0, I succeed with 2. So I'm 2 out of 4. And now we get the red crest challenge icon. Nothing in the weather, nothing in the location, nothing on the mission, and nothing along the way or cross paths. Perfect. I am now going to exhaust myself and spend an energy to put a token on my vaulting rod and heal a fatigue. It's my ranger badge. I think what we're going to do is we're going to try to connect with Pakoto. We're going to spend 1 spirit and a compassionate card, so 3 versus 1. 0, I succeed with 3. All right. We do have a yellow challenge sun, and we will need to shuffle up. So nothing, 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 and here. Powered 1. If there is an active feature, discard 1 power from this being to add 1 progress to that feature, then move this being. Well, there is not a feature in play, so I guess nothing happens. Shuffle my deck here, or shuffle the challenge deck, not mine. All right, we are going to try to remember our ranger training again, 1-1. -1, I fail. And Yellow Sun, nothing happens there again. Sure, we're going to exhaust Pakoto and spend a progress on him to put a token on an aid card and put 2 progress on a being. And then I think that is going to be the end of my turn. So let's ready everything up. Bring our energy back. Draw a card into another Vaulting Rod. And now we get a path card. Oh, hang on. Refresh. I need to put a cloud there. Technically, I needed to do a refresh on the last one too, didn't I? So, okay. So it's got 2 clouds on it. All right. So our path card is Humming Circuits. 0 presence feature. Don't care that much about that one. So what we are going to do, we are just going to use Pakoto, spend 1, get another token on my Vaulting Rod to get 4 on here, which point that clears our Lightbringer. We are going to spend 2 Spirit to get our Ranger badge out. We are now going to try to traverse here. 2 to 1. +1, I succeed, so total of 3. So I go up to 5. We have a Yellow Sun challenge effect. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Nothing here. If it is powered, add 1 power to the machine with the least power. But, oh, it does have power on it. There are no machines out, so I guess the power goes to it because it is a machine with the least power. Sure. Okay. Shuffle these up real quick. All right, let's do a little setup before I move along. Let's try to connect with Pakoto again, 1 to 1. 0, I succeed with an effort of 1, so I get to add 1 to him. I guess I add another power to this thing. And let's try to remember my Ranger training again. 0, so I succeed, so I can look at the top card of my deck. It is my Bravest Ranger title, which I already have, so I'm going to put that on the bottom of my deck. And draw a card, which is another Lambent's Rig. Blue, it was not a test that added progress, so nothing happens there. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Okay. I don't have any fatigue to do my little Ranger thing, so I'm going to choose to rest and travel. Yep, so I am going to be traveling from Spire, I'm going to travel down the woods path to Greenbrier Knoll. So I'm going to get that set up and be back in a jiff. All right, we are set up and we have made it to Greenbrier Knoll. The head-high grass makes it impossible to spot the knoll until the ground slopes upward and you begin to climb a gentle grade. As you finish your ascent, you find yourself on a hilltop. At the summit, you find a dais of time-worn and lichen-crusted stone with narrow threads of metal woven through it. You can see the dulled and patinaed threads from distinct patterns, the mark of the Estians. Right, so setup location, we did this. Arrival setup, lead ranger, draw 1 challenge card and do the following based on the challenge icon. It is a red crest, the worst of it. Scout 3 path cards, then draw 2 path cards. All right, so okay, we got that. We got an overgrown thicket and a prowling woolhound. Let's put the prowling woolhound on the bottom, and then we'll put these two on top. First, we'll do the overgrown thicket. I don't care because it's an obstacle, and I've got that. Right, and now we've got this, a cold wind. A biting wind pierces even through the thick fabric of your cloak. It's common knowledge that no matter the season, the weather in the valley can grow suddenly cold. You pause to consider building a small fire. If the weather is not inclement, you're thankful for the breeze. Each ranger soothes one fatigue. Okay, it is not inclement. We are on a perfect day because we have not refreshed that yet. So that's it. I don't have to do anything else. All right. And so the Greenbrier Knoll is a presence of 1. It takes 3 progress per ranger to leave, and it does have a red challenge card effect that says scout 1 challenge card. If it has the red crest icon, suffer for 2 fatigue. All right, so now we are in the refresh. So let's take care of all my stuff first. Draw a card, which is a compassionate. Now we will add 1 here, which causes this to flip into a midday sun. I guess the flip side was also not inclement weather, so that's fine. So this is on refresh, add a cloud, and if we draw a yellow challenge sun, we suffer a fatigue. With my deck, with the stout-hearted ranger and everything, I don't care about fatigue, so no worries there. All right, so that's everything. Top of the round, we draw a new path card. It is Sunberry Brambles. All right, I have no fatigue to fix, so I don't care about that. Let's just see about moving on. So first things first, we are going to exhaust our rod and spend a charge to exhaust the obstacle. That way we can just ignore it. Next, we are going to spend 2 fitness to try to traverse this, suffering a fatigue from the brambles. Okay, I put in 2 effort, a -1, so 1 versus 1. Tie goes to the ranger, so I succeed with 1 progress. Blue, nothing in the mission. This is exhausted, so it doesn't trigger. Nothing here. Here, if there is active prey, which there is not. You know, let's try to connect up with Pakoto, shall we? 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. -1, I succeed, so I get to add 2 progress there. Red challenge. Oh, nothing there, but a red challenge here. So I scout 1 card. Now see, scout says look at. So I just put it right back on top. So I know I'm going to be getting my next test is a -2 for fitness and a +1 for focus. So I think what I'll do here is, oh, and nothing else red challenge. So I think for this next test, I'm going to be remembering my ranger training. Hey, look, it's a +1 focus. So first I will take care of this. I get to look at 2 cards. Cordo's Instinct and Quiet. You know what? We're going to put Quiet on the bottom and Cordo's Instinct on top. We are going to draw a card. Hey, it's Cordo's Instinct. Now Yellow Sun. Suffer a fatigue. Nothing. That's it. And we have to reshuffle. You know, we're going to try to pluck some sunberry brambles. So awareness plus triangle against 2. I'm just doing my awareness of 2. If I succeed, I add 1 damage to the brambles, and I get to soothe 2 fatigue. If I fail, though, it fatigues me. So 2 versus 2. Plus 1, I succeed. So I add 1 damage to it, and I recover 2 fatigue, which is a gauze blade and deliberate. But it is a red challenge crest, so gotta scout this. It is not a red challenge crest, so nothing happens. Although this is a reshuffle. I like the challenge card mechanics and the different options there are and the challenge mechanics, but it does feel kind of bad when you have to reshuffle. You hit one of the reshuffle cards, and the first card that you flip up afterwards is a reshuffle. Okay, that is my turn. I am going to refresh. Energy back, draw a new card, which is Follow in Footsteps. Ready this, and I add a cloud to Midday Sun. Top of the round, new path card. We've got a Ranger Cache. Okay, so Ranger Cache is 1 presence, 3 harm, and I clear it with putting my Ranger token there, and awareness plus exploration 2 to move my Ranger to the future there. Then regardless of what happens, you may search your deck for a gear and equip it. If you fail, basically either way you move into there. If you fail, you can go find a gear and equip it. If you succeed, add token to an equipped gear. Okay, first things first, let us exhaust this obstacle. Second, you know what? Let's try to go 2 versus 2 to try the Ranger Cache. It does fatigue me 1 because I am going past the Sunberry Brambles. -1, I fail. So, if you fail, move your Ranger token to this feature, and you may add 1 token to one of your equipped gear. So move my Ranger token to it. It clears out then, and I get to I'll add it here. All right, challenge, it's a red crest. So let's scout. Okay, it is not a red crest coming up, and we know we've got a -1 coming up next. All right, so what I am going to do is I am going to spend 2 to traverse, and I am going to commit my other copy of Vaulting Rod. So I am a 3 versus a 1. I will fatigue myself for tiptoeing through the bramble patch. 3 versus 1. It's a -1. I succeed with an effort of 2, so I add 2 to this, so it is 3. And now we get a blue challenge effect. Nothing, nothing. Exhausted. Nothing, nothing in here. If there's active prey, there is not. Okay, so we are going to exhaust myself, spend 1 to put an energy token on an aid card, which is going to be my Ranger badge, and soothe the fatigue. The Cassende technique. I'm now going to exhaust my badge and use a energy to ready my roll, which I will exhaust my roll, spend that to put that on the Ranger badge, and soothe the fatigue. I gotta deliver it. I'm not sure if I have enough cards in my hand to keep going. I guess I'll just have to live with it. All right. Nothing else I can really do. Or nothing else I want to do. No point in taking these tests. So we are going to end our turn. We're going to rest. And we are going to choose to travel since we have that. And the obstacle is exhausted, so I can't ignore it. So we are now going to travel across the grasslands to the Concordant Ziggurats. So let's see what happens there. All right, we are set up and we are at the Concordant Ziggurats. So an urgent request triggers. As you reach the top of a low hill, you see the first of the massive ziggurats rising out of the forest. Sure enough, you can make out a figure standing at the top. You hear for the first of the meter-high, or you head for the first of the meter-high steps, and gird yourself for an arduous climb. As you mount the final steps, Solaro looks up from his equipment, some sort of kinetic glass display. "Oh, good, you've made it. And just in time," he says. "I've uncovered something remarkable." He gestures around him. "We've long suspected that the ziggurats have some sort of power source. Maybe they generate power, or perhaps they bring it in from somewhere else. But in any case, in the writings I've interpreted, the Estians refer to them as power nodes, and together they provide energy to the arcology. I believe now that the new passages we've been exploring underground have been opened by the arcology itself. Some sort of autonomous reaction. And if that's true, I wonder what the arcology would do if we gave it a little more juice." You ask why Solaro assumes that the ziggurats aren't sending their power to the arcology already, and he points to his kinetic glass display. "Look at these readings. The ziggurats are bleeding energy off into their surrounding. It explains why we always feel so edgy around them. But the writings also explain how we can shift them, get the power under control, and redirect it back into the arcology where it belongs." Solaro begins to demonstrate the process, using sympathetic resonance with a precise series of whistles, and you look at the other ziggurats marching away in the distance. Looks like there's some more climbing in your future. Complete an urgent request mission and gain the power-up mission. Search the general set for 2 unstable ziggurats and shuffle them into the path deck. All right, let us look for those unstable ziggurats, shall we? Two unstable ziggurats. Right, let's shuffle these into the path deck first. And we'll take care of the missions. We did an urgent request. We'll get our power-up mission here shortly. Nope. Must be on the back. Power up. There we go. All right, so power up. Help Solaro reroute power to the ziggurats and invigorate the arcology. Use 1.108 instead of the normal entry for the concordant ziggurats. When an unstable ziggurat is cleared, move all power from it to the location. If there are 4 or more power on the concordant ziggurats, 1.109. And there's a couple challenge effects. Okay. So, we did that. So I guess we do this. We'll use the 1.108 for arrival here. The hair on your arms stand on end as you approach the ziggurats once more. It seems Solaro is attempting to send power from the ziggurats to the arcology below. A growing feeling of disquiet stirs around you, as if permeating the air. You climb one of the central structures, and Solaro greets you at the top. Ah, you're here. Fantastic. We have a lot of work to do. He gestures to the several other nearby ziggurats. If we can redirect the energy emitted by these power nodes into the arcology, who knows what we may discover. Do you remember the process I showed you? He nods before you even get the chance to respond. Good, good. You know what to do. And then search that and put the unstable ziggurats. So, okay. So we need to find both of them, clear them to move the energy out of the ziggurat. So, all right, we read here. So the arrival setup, search for the next obstacle and put it into play. Well, unstable ziggurat was the top card. Unfortunately, it is not an obstacle. Oh, the harvest anthill is an obstacle. All right, harvest anthill goes along the way, has a presence of X, 4 harm threshold, 6 progress threshold, obstacle, and X is equal to the number of damage on the feature. Okay, so at the moment, it is a 0 presence obstacle. And as it gets damaged, it goes up more. All right, so let us see here. What is Concordant Ziggurat? Has a 1 presence. Its leaving threshold is just getting a ranger token there. And you do awareness plus triangle 3 to avoid the unnerving energy emitting from the ziggurats to move your ranger token to this location. Then you may discard up to 2 progress from this location to commit an equal amount of effort. Okay. All right, so that was travel. We are now on refresh. Draw a card, a dear friend. Now we add a cloud there, and now we draw our path card at the start of the round. It is unfortunately not a ziggurat. It is ambush. If a ranger is injured, this being gains disconnected. Okay. So I think, ambush means that they fatigue you the number of cards from your presence. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use my Bravest Ranger title to exhaust it, and when you would suffer 1 or more fatigue, you may instead place that card from your hand onto your deck instead. Because I don't want to deal with that. We're going to move a dear friend and a Lambent's Rig. We don't need another one of those out. All right, so my turn. We are going to spend 2 green, to do Cordo's Instinct, to go get a concordant, unstable ziggurat, which is right there. Shuffle this up. Okay, and we will put that on top. We'll read that afterwards. That's that. We are going to spend 1 fitness to get a gauze blade out. We are now going to use compassion, throw a token on my badge, cover a fatigue. It is the Lambent's Rig. We will use this to ready and do it again, putting that back to get my other one, which is a dear friend. All right, we are going to attack. We are going to use our gauze blade. So 1 fitness. And we are going to do a follow in my footsteps. You know what? I really don't want to deal with you, so we're going to do the other Pakoto the Ferret as well. So that is a 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 2. 0, so I succeed. Total effort of 4. And so this is, I slice with the fibrous blade to add damage to it being equal to your effort. If I fail, suffer an injury. So, all right, so I succeed. I do 4 damage to the blood-beckoned Velox, and it is defeated. All right, now we do challenge effects. Yellow Sun, we suffer fatigue. Nothing here. Solaro points you to the right direction. Shuffle an unstable ziggurat from the path discard into the path deck. There aren't any, but that's handy. Then over here, if there is 1 or more progress on the feature, discard 1 progress and add 1 harm to this feature. There is not. All right, that is that. Okay. We are done. We are going to rest up and refresh. Oh, I can get my other title over here. And now this turns back over into a perfect day. Oh, forgot to draw my card. Another Stout-Hearted Guardian. Now we draw our path card. Hey, look, it's an unstable ziggurat. All right, so it goes along the way, has a presence of 2. A clear threshold of 4. Fitness plus triangle 2 to climb to the top to move your ranger token to the structure. If you fail, suffer 1 injury. While your token is on the structure, you can perform the following. Test focus plus icon to redirect the unstable energy to add power up to your effort to this structure. And then power surge, red crest, power surge. If there is more than 2 per ranger power on the structure and your token is on it, discard 1 per ranger power and suffer an injury. Okay, so when an unstable ziggurat is cleared, move all power from it to this location. Have 4 or more power on it. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to get there and I want to do a bunch of these focus tests, which is not going to be easy for me to get the power there and then clear it to transfer the power here. And if I get 4 per ranger or more power on it, or technically I guess I move it to the location, then I finish the mission. Okay. Seems reasonable enough. All right, so we are going to do the fitness plus triangle. So 1, 2, fitness. You know what, before we do that, we're gonna spend an awareness, put it on my ranger badge to suffer fatigue. Perfect. Well, I guess I don't need that for this one, but that's okay. And then just for the heck of it, I'll just ready myself up right now. Okay, so I need fitness, so that's 2. 3. Actually, I will just do this. I will just do deliberate. So because deliberate is one of the icons, and then if you have 6 or more cards in your hand, and I clearly do, it also gains a 2nd of the triangle icon and 1 of the explore icons. So that is an effort of 4 against 2. 0, I succeed. So I get to move my ranger token there. All right, challenge effect. Blue Mountain. Did not add progress. Nothing here. Here. Strange energies pour forth. Move 1 power from the location to an unstable ziggurat. There is no power on the station right now from the location. All right, here. If there's an active hungry scroff, there is not. And nothing on that. So, okay, so now I need to do a focus. So we are doing 1. And I guess we want to go big here. So that is 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so I wanna succeed at this thing. So I think we'll do that. So we'll actually not do the Lambent's rig. We'll do quiet and the Cassende technique. So that is 5. 5 versus 1. I succeed. So that is with the test. Add power up to your effort to this structure. So since it was a 0, my effort was 5. I get to put 5 on here. All right, Yellow Sun. Nothing here. Shuffle an unstable ziggurat from the path deck into the or discard pile into the path deck. Don't have that. If there is 1 or more progress on there, there's not. Nothing here. So, okay. So now I need to just clear that. It is a feature, so I'm going to choose to do nothing else this turn because I don't want to do another test that is going to mess around with things because I don't have any. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a massive connect test and then follow in footsteps because after you succeed at a connect test, add progress to a feature equal to your effort, but it costs 1 fitness energy to do that, which I don't have any, so we're going to rest. And since we can't travel, we are on to the refresh phase. Drawing a card, which is Wonders of the Valley. And we get 1 cloud on our perfect day. We draw a new card. It is a Morning Root. 0 presence, 2 harm, 3 progress, and I can cut it up to Soothe Fatigue, which clearly I don't really need. All right. So yeah, so I think my best bet, what's going to give me the best chance for success, is I'm going to try to connect with Pakoto. So I need to get 4 on there. He's a presence of 1. So I need to be 6 minus 2. I would succeed with a progress of 4. Yeah, so I need to be 6. So 3. I'm going to move you over here. So we got a Compassionate and a Dear Friend and 3 Spirit. And so I am a 6 versus a 1. +1, I succeed with a total progress of 7. And then I am going to play Follow in Footsteps. So that is 7 progress on this guy, which clears it, which puts all that energy over there, which enters that. So I'm not sure which happens first. All these nestled test things. So I think I cleared it. So I think I do all the clearing before I handle that. So let's do that. All right, 1.109. You and Solaro scramble to the top of the last of the ziggurats. Solaro moves animately to the center of the platform. This should do it, Solaro says to himself. Once we activate this ziggurat, it will complete the localized circuit and begin transmitting power back into the arcology. He pulls out a bronze multi-tone whistle and begins blowing the precise notes. As he does, you look out over the valley. Something catches your eye. The Tenebrae, which normally roam implacably near the ziggurats, are drifting with uncharacteristic haste toward the mountains to the west. You're about to say something to Solaro when he blows the last crisp note. As soon as it rings out, it's met with a clap of thunder as a massive electrical discharge ignites several meters above your head and leaps from the ziggurat upon which you're standing to the next one in sequence. Then the next, then the next. For a long moment, the ziggurats are wreathed in a crackling blue-white light. Then the energy seems to flow down the sides of the structures like a blazing flood, spreading out across the valley floor before vanishing into the air. Record Power Up the Arcology on the campaign tracker. Add progress to the location equal to the number of power tokens on it. Then discard all power tokens from the location and all path cards. Return both unstable ziggurats to the collection. All right. So it said discard all path cards, so... And then this unstable ziggurat is removed. Let's go find the other one. There's the other one. We'll shuffle up. Solaro says as he sits up. That was a bit more energetic than... Before he can finish his thought, the stone bucks beneath you. You manage to prevent yourself from being flung from the crown of the ziggurat. Beneath you, you see the ground shake, spreading through the surrounding forest like ripples on a pond. Trees groan and fall, and everywhere flights of birds erupt from their roosts in a cacophony of alarm. As you gather your wits, your thoughts turn to the expedition, and then to Cal, Quizzy, and Harlan. A sonorous rumble shakes your bones, and your mind is filled with visions of them lost in the dark, trapped beneath tons of fallen rock. You must venture back underground and ensure their safety before it's too late. Complete the power-up mission and gain the Collapse! Cal, Ivor, Harlan, Voss, and Quizzy Voss mission. Reminder, find Cal in the Arcology set and Harlan and Quizzy in the Artery set. And attach them face down to the mission card. Cross off the above ground weather for today, and for the next day record electric fog in its place and swap the current weather for electric fog. Then record entry 199.5 4 days from now in the tracker. Well, this should be fun. Oh, excuse me. So electric fog, that should be fun. Has, what is that? 4 fog tokens on it. Arrival setup, search the general set for ball lightning and shuffle it into the path deck. And response, when you perform an avoid test, you may pass through the fog to discard 1 fog and commit 1 effort. If you fail, suffer an injury. Yellow Sun challenge effect, discard 1 fog from the card. Each ranger suffers 1 fatigue. If it has no fog remaining, flip the card. The other side has Clinging Mist. Increase the difficulty of all tests by 1. All right, well, that was certainly exciting. So we've completed Power Up. Let's see if we can find what we need to do here. Collapse. All right, what do we got here? Whatever Solaro did at the Concordant Ziggurats caused the very ground to shake, potentially causing sections of the arcology to collapse. Cal, Ivor, Harland, and Quizzy Voss were exploring the arcology when it happened. You need to find them and ensure their safety. Path deck assembly. At each valley location, search the valley set for an arcology sinkhole and add it to the path deck. Arrive at the location marked unexplored in your campaign tracker to complete the mission. And my unexplored location was the Scuttler Network. So what I need to do is I need to go back to Spire, come down here to the chimney, then hit the Oasis of Sunlight, and then pop over to the Scuttler Network. All right, how much do I have? I actually have enough. I might be able to at least get to Spire before my day ends. So let's give that a try. All right, so that was completing the mission. Now we got to do this guy. Yellow Sun Challenge Effect. Oh. Discard 1 fog and suffer a fatigue. Okay, and now we shuffle this up. All right, I have enough to travel, so let's just spend my other fitness to get that card. Oh, my intention translator. Don't think I'll be using that, but you never know. Don't need the Lampens rig. Wonders the Valley. Nope. Okay. So I am going to be done. I am going to rest, and because I have enough on there, I am going to choose to travel. I will be traveling to Greenbrier Knoll again so that I can try to make it to Spire before the end of the day. So let me get that set up, and I will be right back. All right, we are at Greenbrier Knoll. So got everything set up here. Let's do the arrival setup. It is scout it is draw 1 challenge card and do what it is. It is a Blue Mountain. Blue Mountain says draw 1 path card. Okay. So we draw a path card. It is an Antelope. And I did make sure that there's our ecology sinkhole somewhere in there as well. Right, we are now refresh phase. We draw a card. It is bold. Now, start of the round, we draw a path card. It is a morning route. I got 3 cards left. Let us we are just going to run to the Spire. So we are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll say 5. That does cause me to be fatigued, but I'm going to use the Bravest Ranger to just discard a card from my hand. It will be, or to discard a card from my hand into the fatigue stack. So I'm a 5 versus 1. 0, I succeed, 5 progress. Red challenge effect. Or no, Blue Mountain. Nothing. If there's an active prey, this is prey, exhaust it. And add progress to it and harm to this as equal to its progress. Or to its presence. Yep. All right, let's spend an energy to pull that card back to my hand. I'm done. I'm going to travel over to Spire. And I think I'm not going to camp because I'm going to travel to Spire and then I'm going to try to travel down there. So let me get Spire set up and we'll go from there. All right, here we are at Spire. So to get down, per the map here, to get down to the chimney, I must clear the arcology threshold. And that is one of the cards in the Spire deck, which is over there, which means I have to get myself onto the spire and start drawing there. So, all right, on arrival, lead ranger draws a path card. It is, a lightning strike. Don't like that. With a sudden crack, a flash of light fills the sky. Startled, you take a breath to settle your nerves. Moments later, the sound of rolling thunder echoes across the sky. Add 3 harm to the path card with the highest presence, and 1 harm to each card in its area. If it was within reach of a ranger, they suffer 1 injury. If the weather is not inclement, but it is. So, it would put electric fog into play, which... Okay, so the path card with the highest threshold. Well, aren't any path cards out. So, haha. Okay. All right, what do I got to do to get on here? Fitness plus traverse 2. All right, I got 3 rounds to do that, or 2 rounds actually, because we're now on refresh, so... Draw a card. Another gauze blade. All right. Draw a path card. It is a prowling wolfhound. Okay, so I need fitness and that. We're going to spend 1 to get an intention translator in play, kicking out my gauze blade and my Lambent's rig. I am now going to attempt to connect with the prowling wolfhound. So 3. Exhaust, use 1 of those for 4. And let's do that for 5. So 5 versus 2. 0, I succeed. With 5 progress. All right, red challenge. Nothing. Here. You are overcome with worry. Either discard 1 focus energy or suffer 1 fatigue. Okay, well, I am going to, since I spent my focus to get my intention translator out, I'm going to do that. Putting that down. Okay, and then here, if you have 3 or 4 fatigue, which I don't, I only have 1. All right, we are going to exhaust Pakoto and use a charge, put a token on an aid card, which will be the translator, put 2 progress here, which clears the wolfhound out. All right, we are now going to 1, 2, and a bold to try to get into the place. -1, I succeed. Oh, this is... So I'm here, and I get to draw a card from the Spire deck. Oh, I top deck Arcology Threshold. What do I need? Spirit to get on there. Okay. All right, that's helpful. Well, let me read the thing first. 58. Although the expedition is well underway, there remains a contingent of villagers in the Arcology Threshold who continue to gather supplies and offer their support, ready to provide aid at a moment's notice. Clear the Arcology Threshold with moving my ranger token there to travel to the chimney. All right, downside is it was another red crest. Nothing here. Either spend a focus or suffer a fatigue. I have no choice, so I have to suffer a fatigue. All right, so I'm going to do this. Spend 1 to recover fatigue. Looking for icons here. And then I will do the same thing here. Ready, spend it, put it here, put it here. Oh, perfect. The icons that I need were both of those. All right. We are done. We are going to rest. So we ready everything up. We draw a card, which is my last card, which is the other copy of Quiet. So I'm not out yet, but if anything fatigues me or requires me to draw into my deck, then I lose. All right, so now I am going to choose to draw a card from the Path deck, or from the Spire deck instead. I got Talon Lang, the Sculptor. 61. Well, I'm afraid, Mr. Sculptor, you are probably going to be ignored. Hello, Talon jumps up, setting his tools down, grasping your hands warmly. It's good to see you. I don't know what you've been up to recently, but I've been busy helping Elder Orlin and her artificers produce devices for Solaro's expedition. I can make maquettes, scale models, and then the artificers can turn them into pulleys, collapsible shelters, archaeological scaffolding, you name it. It's been an absolutely fantastic challenge. In any case, I hope you'll put my designs to good use down in the archaeology. I wish you all the best. Discard Talon. Search the Spire deck for the archaeology threshold and put it in play. Oh. Huzzah. All right. So now I'm going to do this test. Spirit 3 plus that icon that's on Quiet that has 2 of them. So that is 5 versus 3. To brave the gloomy depths beneath the spire and move my ranger token to this feature, and if I fail, suffer 2 fatigue. So 0, I succeed, so I get to move my guy here. And then I clear you. You stand before the yawning darkness, and after a moment's hesitation, you leave the surface and head into the labyrinth depths of the archaeology ruin. You may immediately proceed to travel phase and travel to Chimney, even if there are ready cards with the obstacle keywords in play. If you do, build the path deck using the Ancient Ruins terrain set. If you choose to travel in this way, discard the current challenge card and do not resolve the remainder of this test. I choose to travel, and I will be choosing to rest. Not that I'm going to be changing my deck at all, but... All right, so there you go. So it was a quick day. We popped out, ran down here, turned on the power, went, oh crap, and now we're running back down again. So we will be coming down tomorrow on day 6. We'll be coming down to the Chimney and trying to make our way down to the Scuttler Network to check to make sure our friends are okay. Awesome. Well, if you made it this far, as always, thank you so much for watching and following along as I play through this game. I really do appreciate it. I will be putting another game up soon and continuing on with this campaign and see where it takes me. I will get that up soon, but until then, I hope you have a great night, everybody.